Borlenghi, your friendly neighborhood Cobra Kai Pawnshop Guy, and my good friend and producer, Drew. And we're back with you. And thanks for being back with us. And if it's your first time, what are you thinking? Episodes 1 and 2 are up there already. Check them out too. So we've been having a good time with you folks, and appreciate the interaction and everything. Drew and I do check the comments on YouTube, and I make a point of hopping in and saying thank you for being here and whatnot. We still would really love if you would just shoot a selfie video with any question or comment and send it to Cobra Kai Kid 1@gmail.com so we can put your face on the Pawncast. Come on, folks. We want to see you. We want the world to see you. We want, this is all about, including everyone and all of us being in this together. So let's do that. All right. I'd like to start off, with the morning no. And that's not me saying no. That's the morning no, KNOW, like the morning show. Well, this is the morning no. And, since this is kind of a entertainment-based podcast, Pawncast, thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the things going on in the entertainment world. Drew, have you heard about how Paramount Skydance is trying to buy Warner Brothers Studios and, trying to outbid Netflix and all that? And it's a big deal in the entertainment business because what it effectively does is eliminate or fold Warner Brothers has been around forever. They've been around forever, and they're a huge studio with a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of great movies have come out of Warner Brothers. And Paramount Skydance was bought by the guy from Oracle and whatnot, and they're trying to buy Warner Brothers and have more control over the media and what people can see and what maybe they don't want people to see and whatnot. And again, we're not here for politics, whatever. There's enough of that on the podcasts out there. But Netflix has been the leading contender to buy Warner Brothers, and I personally, I far prefer that option. Netflix has really shown itself to be an amazing company. Who knew, starting out from when you could just have a DVD mailed to you, and it was on an honor system of sending it back. And then it turned into the streamer and the world powerhouse that it is now. We love us some Netflix here on the Pawncast. Could it be because the Cobra Kai is on Netflix? And my movie, Can You Feel the Beat? The Lisa story is on Netflix? Could it be because I hope to put one or two of the shows that I'm developing on Netflix? Are you listening, Netflix? So we are, we're big fans of Netflix around here. And it really will change the dynamic of Hollywood, seeing another studio just kind of be absorbed into another company. But Netflix is, really promising to keep the theater model alive, keep movies in the movie theaters. And, of course, that's what Paramount is trying to say, is that, they're going to destroy movie releases and all that. No, it's gaslighting. We're behind Netflix. I'm behind Netflix. I won't speak for you, Drew, but what are your thoughts on it? I mean, you are a huge, social media and streamer presence. What are your thoughts on, the idea of a studio being bought by a streamer? But remember, Netflix is far more than just a streamer. They produce a lot of original content. They don't just air other people's contents and buy stuff and air it. So, do you have any opinion on it at all, Drew?
Yeah, well, I will say it'll be nice to, because there's so many different streaming platforms right now where you're like if you want to watch this, you need Prime, or if you want to watch this, you need Netflix. So, if they could cut it down a bit and combine some of it where now more content's on Netflix, like, because I know I've dealt with that problem where it's like, you just got to get like all these different platforms, but I'm excited and I hope, as you said, the movie theaters, keep doing what they're doing. Like I don't want streaming to replace that, because there's just nothing like going to the theaters and then you just put it on streaming afterwards. I feel like that system works.
Yeah, the last I had heard about it, Netflix is still pretty much guaranteeing a 45-day theatrical run for a movie that it is involved with, which maybe a little longer would be great for a
Mhm.
movie that's performance-based runs are important. Of course, you have a movie that goes into the theaters and no one's really interested in, except maybe a very small target audience. Well, why are movie theaters going to keep that movie running for months if there's no money to be made from it, right? I mean, that
Mhm.
makes sense. And listen, what has killed the movie theater going experience for many people in a large way is the concessions. Who can afford to go to the movies? A family of four on average go to a movie, and after the popcorn, the sodas, the candy, and everything, you're over $100 now. That's
Crazy.
ridiculous. I mean, to be paying $8 for a soda, you know, $10 for a popcorn, that's just not. I mean, movie theater tickets are expensive enough. Don't
Mhm.
crush us at the concession stand with all the bright lights and the colorful candy boxes and all that. That's tough. So movie theater owners could really help out, the consumer by bringing that to a more realistic, price point again. I mean, $50 for a family of four is still expensive. There are other bills to pay. I have other bills to pay. I'm sure you do, but uh, that's more. People can still look at. Okay, look, it's a family night. We're going to go spend $50, see a movie, and have some popcorn and all that, and feel pretty good about it. And hopefully they made the right choice with the movie that they chose to see. Right.
Mhm.
But when you walk away from the concession stand already kind of thinking, "Are you kidding? I just spent $100 and had to like bite my tongue not to be make sarcastic comments at the cashier, at the cash register, saying you got to be kidding and whatever." I mean, you don't want to start your movie going experience feeling any kind of bitterness. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But
Yeah.
uh, if Netflix stays true to the model that they've been proposing, that they will still give 45-day minimum runs in the movie theaters before, going streaming only, then I think that's fair. And if the movie is performing super well, extend it. You don't have to limit it to 45 days, right?
Agreed.
Um, and then let's see what other micro dramas. A lot of people have thoughts on micro dramas. Those are the vertical form that you can watch on your phone. And the headline is the microdrama boom just hit a major milestone. And people in the US are now spending more time watching microdramas on mobile than they are on Netflix, Disney Plus, or Prime Video. Real Short is one of the companies behind these microdramas. They're the leading app out there with plenty of challengers nipping at their heels. Are averaging 35.7 minutes per user per day versus Netflix's 24.8. And that all falls in line with, how big a part of our lives the phone is, right? When's the last time you left the house without your phone? When's the last time that you did that and realized, where's my phone?
Mm-hmm.
You're at a self-checkout at a store, whether it's, Kroger or Walmart, whatever. And, somebody, and there's, like 6, 8 self-checkout stations. And all of a sudden, every head turns because we all recognize that sound of a phone hitting the floor. And everyone turns and sees at the exact same, the person who dropped their phone, and that look of panic on that person's face. And all of us feel it at the same time. We all feel that panic, and we all feel, that fear for that person. And we're all thinking the same thing. Did the screen crack?
Mm-hmm.
And, just looking at that person all at once, like, we're pulling for you. Go ahead, pick up the phone, turn it over. Is it cracked? Did it break? And then it didn't crack. And everyone's like, yeah, it didn't crack. And we all come together in that beautiful moment. But that's how important phones are to our lives. And, to be honest, I never thought when I first heard about the vertical shorts, I was like, no, come on. Who wants to, we look at our phone enough. We want to sit and watch on our TV or a laptop, but these things are really taking off in a huge way. I mean, China is the leader right now with it. I mean, they billions of people watching vertical short, or not. I say vertical shorts because the structure, and I actually wrote one, and I'm going to see if, because I have lots of them are called like My Billionaire Boyfriend, or I found out he cheated on me, or it's usually like the other way. I found out he cheated on me, or my wife left me for a billionaire. It's all those kind of corny titles, but they work.
Mm-hmm.
I've written a very different one, kind of a serial killer drama, and it has all of these verticals have a very specific structure to them. They have 2 minutes typically. It started with 1 minute and then a cliffhanger. And then you watch the next episode and it was 1 minute and a cliffhanger. And now they're expanding to 2 minutes. Some are even going to 3 minutes to get people more immersed in it. And it's very specific. A scene, blah, 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 cliffhanger, what's going to happen next? And then it's the next episode. And it really caters to that short attention span theater that we reference to pretty often. It's almost like watching shorts on TikTok or whatnot, but it has a specific story, and that at some point there's going to be an end, unless it's a cliffhanger final episode to take you to the next season. But the success of these things is out of this world. Global revenues are projected to hit $14 billion this year. That's a big number. And it used to be just the small, startup companies that were into this. But, a lot of big players, a lot of big companies, Disney has gotten into the game, and others. So there's a big future for small screens. Would I want this ever to replace the regular streaming experience? That, bed and TV, put the phone down for a little while? No, I would not want it to replace that. And of course, I don't want anything to replace, any more than you do, the movie going experience. There's nothing like sitting in a movie theater and you have your buttery that maybe is too buttery, so you have 47, 55 napkins to wipe your hands. Why I picked that number, I don't know. So there's nothing that replaces that, especially in movie theaters that have the seats that recline and they raise your feet and all that. Yeah, that's a big thing for me. And then, one more thing, in TV development, Taylor Sheridan, who is like the king of TV now. He has Yellowstone, Tulsa King, 1923. I mean, this guy has absolutely crushed Hollywood and what it means to be a creator, an executive producer, and writer. And he has a spin-off now of Tulsa King, which I think their third season just came out this, a few weeks ago or whatnot. He has a spin-off called Frisco King, starring dun, 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 Samuel L. Jackson, the man who I think has said "mother effer" more times in cinema history than any other actor, dating back to when they first invented the camera. So that's something I'm pretty excited about, to be honest. Samuel L., I mean, he is a bad mofo and a pretty serious golfer. I actually crossed paths with him a few times on the golf course, and he's a serious golfer, loves the game, and he gives me a lot of inspiration because his career didn't really take off until he was like 45 or something like that. I think it was Pulp Fiction that really changed his career trajectory. He'd been around and all that, and he'd gone through many, personal issues and, overcame the things he was dealing with. And now it's like you say, Sam Jackson, everyone knows who he is. So, my hat has been off to Samuel L. for a long time. And that would be, one of my big career goals would be to, a lot of people say share the screen with, an actor, whatnot. I like to say share the crafty table. The crafty table, as you know, for folks who don't know, the crafty table is the craft services table where all the snacks are and everything. So when you're working on a movie or TV set or whatnot, there's a craft services table, and the folks working that, are taking really good care of the actors and crew. We always know where to go and whom to look for when we want a snack, of whether it's a mint or a sandwich, whatever. Crafty services is a huge part of a production. So yeah, I would love to share a crafty table with Samuel L. Jackson one day, because that means I'm also sharing the screen with Mr. Mofo, Samuel L. Jackson. That's enough for industry talk now. I want to move in to Real Pawn Talk. Let's go.
All right, I am back at LA Pawn Shop here in Georgia on a nice rainy day, although it stopped raining. It's looking like a family affair here at LA Pawn.
That's right. That's right.
Now, you know, Lyle has 3 kids on the show. You'll never meet them. But I love seeing that Tony has his kids here with him today. See, I love the fact that, you know, like Lyle has kids, Tony has kids, and, well, like I said, Lyle's kids, you'll never meet them, but Tony loves to include his kids in everything he does.
Oh, yes.
Almost everything he does.
Yes, I love it. You came right at the right time, too. My wife brings my kids and drops them off.
Perfect, and then goes and then takes a break.
Takes a break, leaves them here, yeah.
Let me ask you, just kind of origin, what made you interested in, you know, the pawn world?
I don't know. My family did it, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to do it.
How many generations?
Just my mom and my brother.
Right.
And me.
Right on.
So it was just the shoe fit, you know.
Where are you from originally?
Right here.
Right here?
Cherokee County. Yeah.
Cherokee County. Right on. Yeah. Oh, here's the big one.
This is it. LA Pawn. Look.
I like it.
What's your birthday? The 13th, you'll be good. Yeah. Come see me, man. I'll be up here. I won't put in. You'll come in Friday.
See, that call sounds like something that goes against, remember the 3 gold balls, 3-to-1 odds that someone who pawns something, 3-to-1 odds that they're not coming back for it? This call sounds like someone who wants to come back.
Thursday's the 26th. Word, I got you, man. Thank you, buddy.
Now, that one sounds like it goes against the 3-ball symbol of the 3-to-1 odds.
I try to make that happen, you know. I hold a lot of stuff for a lot of people.
That's cool.
You probably pull it, don't you?
Yeah.
You probably put it out for sale.
Sure.
And
you know I'm an avid golfer. What are the odds you find a Scotty Cameron in here? 0. You know I'm a biker in real life. And here is some pretty cool seats. We'll be back soon with Tony.
I really like the fact that, you know, it's important to him to be able to give people their things back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that he wants to see people win. Because, listen, the fact is that there are definitely 2 camps, and, you know, there's probably a lot of gray area in the middle, but there are 2 camps. You just don't need stuff anymore, don't care about it anymore, and figure, hey, I might as well go pawn it and see, you know, it's better than trying to do it on Craigslist or whatever and, you know, end up with a scammer or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're the people who are in a really tough spot and just need to get through for like 2 weeks or whatnot and you know, get that next paycheck or get that next freelance job or whatever and get some cash in their pocket and deal with their responsibilities and, you know, have something left over, hopefully, to go, you know, grab what they pawned in the first place, because that is the structure of a pawn shop. It's borrowing against your collateral, not just selling it, but, you know, it means something to him. He's just a good guy. He's a good egg, and I respect him. And of course, I couldn't resist when I was talking about, you know, Lyle has 3 kids, and then quoting myself from the show, but you'll never meet them.
Never meet them. I want to meet the voice too. That's exactly the tone.
Yep. Which, you know, again, that was a specific choice I went with because it could have been read by a lot of people as, you know, 3 kids, you'll never meet them. And, you know, it's not interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not interesting. And not to say I'm again, I will never pretend to be Marlon Brando, but I think I'm pretty decent at what I do. And I think sometimes I have some interesting choices. Ah, here's an interesting choice um, that I thought so at the time, and it obviously worked for me. So, not everyone um, is a Cobra Kai fan. I don't want to neglect, you know, all my children fans, for example. And that's really where I got my start. I got noticed for All My Children doing a little guest thing on the show Hunter, but I got my real start with All My Children, and um, the audition for that, and of course we went on. Kelly Ripa and I went on to be gratefully, very popular on the show. But her character Haley was this Spitfire, right? And when I was asked to screen test and all that for the show after seeing me on Hunter, um, the audition material was all exclamation points. Brian, my character, goes over to find Haley because she skipped school or whatever, and he's at her door, and the script has Brian pounding on the door and yelling and saying, "Haley, I hear the music. I know you're in there." Blah blah blah! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! And I said, "Okay, 99 out of 100 young actors are going to show how well they can shout instead of showing how much rage I can put on my face and how loudly I can shout." I figured, this is my girlfriend. I deal with this every day. This is not a big tragic moment. So I leaned against the door frame and I just started knocking on the door slowly with my head, saying, "Haley, I know you're in there. I can hear the music. Open the door, Haley." And that went completely against the writing, completely against all the exclamation points, and it showed understanding of the relationship. So that's something for all you young actors out there who are interested in acting and starting out. And when I say make an interesting choice, that was the most interesting choice to me available at that time. And that alone landed me the show, because I got the call that I had the role before I was even on the airplane. So um, be unique, be original. And I know we're winding down on time, so I wanted to hit the For the Ladies segment. And this time I'm going to get a little more serious. And, I know you may like the jokes and all that, but um, I'm not a huge social media presence on TikTok or anything. I mean, I have, you know, a modest amount of folks who might be interested in what I have to say. But the biggest, most viewed video that I ever put up, which was like 1.3 million views or whatnot, and a lot of ladies chiming in. I had, subtitles in there, fun facts for ladies, and there was nothing fun about it. And what it addressed was, it was a safety tip, and I'm going to share it with you ladies now who haven't seen the TikTok video, but you can go check it out there too. The number one reason men will stop an attack on a woman, young lady, whatnot, is fear of disfigurement. That is a statistic. And it's gross and disgusting that anyone should even, of course, women. What is wrong with men that will attack women and grape women and all that? But the number one fear is the fear of disfigurement. So my point with that was use your nails, use your teeth, tear out a chunk of flesh, whatever you have to do. And, sadly, I mean, most women know this, but if I can help be a motivator, because you know what? There's no excuse for that kind of behavior from men. So I'm all about and fully support. If a man wants to destroy a woman in any way, I hope that woman destroys him, because I have a daughter and a wife, and I'm a decent guy. At least I like to think so. I try. But that's my safety tip for today. Remember that the fear of disfigurement, of having something wrong with his face afterwards, that's going to go a long way towards getting you out of that situation and getting home safely. All right. All right. Debbie Downer struck again, but it's important. It's important. All right. Last reminder. Any questions or comments, even hate mail now? I guess I've opened up myself to potential hate mail. Send it to Cobra Kai Kid 1@gmail.com, and maybe your video will make it on the air. All right. Selfie videos are very cool. And, we ran a little long, so there was no time for a selfie video question today, but we'll make it up on the next one. People, send in your selfie video. All right. You know the routine. We're out, everyone. Stay safe.